When you know the nature and the character of God, there are some things you will believe about God, and there are other things you will stop believing immediately.
Watch this teaching by Apostle Joshua Selman to open you up to new dimensions in life.
Are we together? If you get a text now in your phone and some scammer says, I am Reverend Sam, come and meet me somewhere, because you know his nature and his character, you know what he can do, that becomes the basis of what you believe and what you do not believe. You will hardly become a victim of foolishness in the presence of knowledge. Are we together now? Yes. So you study the character of God to know God. For instance, if, let me use a gentleman. Can I have any gentleman? Just come. Anyone, come. Now watch this. Let me use this gentleman. Everyone look at this. Assuming I want to send you to give him something and you do not know him, you have never met him, I can use his nature and character to describe him for you. I will tell you, when you enter that office, look at a gentleman. He's generally calm. He usually likes to wear black. When you see a gentleman, most likely he will greet you. You see, you can use that description to start scouting for people, and with precision. Sometimes as soon as you enter, you say you must be the one, and you come with confidence like you are a prophet and say you are so. He says yes. You say, here is your message. I use his nature to help you identify him. If gods are scattered around and you are asked to choose the true God, can you point that this is God and not an idol? Most believers don't know God. They don't even know how to identify him. Are we together? There are things God will not do, and there are things God always does. For instance, the Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and rich in love. This is a description of God's character. Are we together now? Yes. Righteousness and justice, the Bible says, are the foundations of his throne. The Bible says, watch this now, that his mercies are new every morning. Now put all this description in your walk with God. Immediately the fear of doom leaves your life, that it is true that God is just, but his mercy triumphs over his judgment. It doesn't put you in a state of carelessness, but it becomes a consolation that you are walking with a God that loves you. Number two, when God demands that you love him and serve him, he also lets you know that the character of love is that he gives, and no one outgives God. So you don't feel cheated giving your all to God, because there is a consolation in your walk with God. He's not a cruel king who is just asking you to give offering, give money, worship him, come to church, and there is nothing in place for you. No, that is against the very nature of love. You are my God. Now it's not a special number, it's a revelation. You are my God. For you are my God. You are my God. Do you believe this? I'll forever be chasing after you. Since I found that you are my God, I'll be chasing after you. That I'll forever be chasing after you. I'll be chasing after you. So when men ask you, why do you look like a fool serving God? What is in it for you? You tell him, number one, I serve him because I love him. But number two, there is such a plan in his dealings with me. Are we together now? He gave his son, and you have no idea of the exceeding great and precious promises he has for me. I serve him because I love him, but I do not serve him in vain. There are consolations. The disciples came to ask him a question. We have given all to follow you. It is not in his nature to rob men. No. You do not serve God and go down. Do This becomes your motivation to serve even in church, supervised or not. You spend your life like a fool and allow the naysayers laugh and say sorry for the remaining part of their lifetime, as they see God begin to showcase through your life what it means to be loved by God.